The historic town of Woodbridge has a long history of shipbuilding, and now a 7th century monster is being born in the 21st century. The historical discovery of Sutton Hoo, when the longboat was unearthed. The remains of a Saxon king led to some of the most revealing insights how our ancestors lived. The brave experimental archaeologists took on the challenge to rebuild the ship with the methods and equipment of the Saxon shipwrights. Today I had the opportunity to have an impromptu interview with the modern day shipwright who took on the challenge to build, train and organise the volunteers in this leap back into our history. Hear from the people behind the ship, the great project and the glorious axe work. This was recorded in the Longship, where they are constructing the ship, so expect the sound of sawing, hammering and chopping in the background during this video. Enjoy.
Yes, because the whole project is fascinating, really. That's when I first heard about it, you're recreating a Longship, with hand tools, traditional methods. It got my attention. So, how did the project start and how did it grow from here?
Well, it's probably about a 35 or 40 year dream really to build the ship. There's been a lot of people involved over the years. This, where the Longship is built, used to be Wistock's boatyard. That was derelict for quite some number of years, and then they decided to knock it down and build the Longship to build the ship in. So this is all bespokely built just specifically to build the ship in.
That's amazing.
There's about 150 volunteers that are involved with the ship's company, and of them about 35 that are physically involved in building it. So it's a big project, and there's a lot of people involved. It's a real team effort, really. So
it's a worthwhile project.
Oh, definitely. We've learned so much through building it, and that's why they call it experimental archaeology, because we're learning the skills, relearning those skills, and training up all of the volunteers, and we're all sort of learning from each other, really. I've been a shipwright for about 15 years, but over the last 3 years of working on this project, I mean, this has been an amazing thing to be involved in, really.
I can imagine it's been a dream, you know. Really. They're literally building a Northman Longship.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. It's the amount of skills that we've had to learn over these 3 years has been incredible. Because all the axe skills of taking the cleave sections down to 1 inch and 6 deep, and they all have to be done to a almost plain finish. And we don't use any planes or anything. We all the finishing surfaces on the flanking and on the ship is all done with an axe. So that's done with a T-axe, which is a big, deep-bladed, traditional Anglo Saxon axe, which you can almost get a plain finish with. It's got a crank handle. We've got left and right-handed axes.
It's like a splitting axe kind of deal, and you splits in a controlled fashion.
It doesn't split. The finishing axe is what you use at the very end. So you're only taking off maybe 1 or 2 mil at a time with that. What we use for roughing out is called a Swedish broad axe, and we can have a look at them in a bit.
That sounds perfect.
And they're much heavier axe, but they're much better at taking off sort of thicker pieces of wood. Basically, you can take off more material with those, and then the finishing axes are just for the fine tuning of the boards.
That's fascinating. So you've got multiple kind of axes of different kind of jobs.
Yeah, oh yeah. We've probably got about 3 or 4 different axes that we use on the project.
Wow!
All from a felling axe down to a finishing axe.
That's so good.
Yeah.
So we have one axe for actual making the planks. There's one for finishing it. Probably one for beveling, maybe.
Yes. So we use the finishing axe even for cutting the scarves, because there's a 6-inch feather edge scarf on the end of each plank, and that's how we then join one plank to the next one. So that's all done with a finishing axe as well. And you have to be really accurate with that. People say you have to be really strong and fit. You don't really have to be like a bodybuilder, but you just have to be able to hit that same spot every time with the axe. It's all about accuracy, and yeah. So you don't have to be a big muscle person. It's just
fair enough. It's all about that's all cool, man. It's all about basically accuracy and getting it where you want it every time.
Yeah.
To get the cut finish you want.
You just don't miss. If you miss, that's it. You've ruined that plank basically. So you just have to be very skilled, really.
So a bit too much enthusiasm to completely destroy it in the process.
We don't dead it very often. Now and again, we might have where someone's notched a bit deep on the plank, but it tends to be pretty good. We've not really had many accidents.
Happy days, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, So one quick question I was thinking about this whole project is, right, it's like, so when people come in, right, especially when you're looking for donations, you're looking for equipment, or people would lend their hand, right? People walk in, what's their general reactions? Are like, holy hell, they're building a longship.
Yeah, I think it is really, because a lot of people go over to Sutton Hoo and they visit the site there and they see the mounds and they've been in the museum, but it's not until they come into the Longship and they realise the scale of the ship, because it's just under 90 foot long, and it's going to weigh about 15 tonnes with the ballast and crew, and it's going to be rowed by 40 oarsmen. When they see the scale of it in here, especially in the Longshed, it is quite impressive now. It's starting to take shape, so I do encourage anyone who's not been to the Longshed to definitely come down and have a look really.
Doesn't everyone come to Woodbridge, check out the Longshed?
Yeah, check it out, donate if you can, and even if you buy something from our little shop that we've got, because that's all made from some of the offcuts from the ship, or go on our website and you can sponsor caulking. I think all the nails are sponsored now, because we've got 3,500 wrought iron nails and roves that we're using to fix all the planking together. They're all sponsored, but people can sponsor lengths of planking and thawls. There's quite a lot of things on there that all really help us to build the ship, basically.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
So how many nails per square foot are we talking on average here?
Per square foot, well, in a foot long piece of planking, you've probably got about 5 nails.
You need a lot of nails.
So yeah, and we've got Alex Pole down in Somerset who's making he's a blacksmith making all the nails. Yep. He sends them up in batches of 500. So
wow.
And they're all made from recycled boat chain, because you can't really get raw iron anymore. It's not really produced, so they're using it all from recycled chain.
Oh, so not only is it also eco-friendly, it's all reusing materials.
Yeah, well, we are trying our best, and we've planted 400 oak trees to replenish some of the oaks we've cut down in a local village from here. So it all helps to keep it as green as we can. Really.
That's perfect. So we'll end off with, if you've got a message for the internet right now, what do you want to tell the world?
If you've not been to the Longshed, come down and have a look. We'll be here for another couple of years. It's probably going to be 2026 before we finish the ship, but definitely I'd say everyone who hasn't been, come down and have a look.
In a few years we'll come back and see how it's going and get another chat.
Yeah, come back and have another look.
Hey, thank you very much for your time, sir.
No problem. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so that's the traditional T-axe, finishing axe, and you can see that's a right-handed one. So when you look at it, it's got a handle that's offset to the right.
Yep.
So it means when you're working down, and this is going to be an orb, when you're working down a piece of wood, your knuckles aren't going against the side of the piece of wood you're working on.
Oh yes.
And because it's got such a deep blade, you can get a really flat finished surface with it. So yeah, as I say, that's what we use for any finishing. When you've not got to take a lot of wood off, you're just taking off maybe 1 or 2 millimetres at a time.
Excellent. So what's the name of this axe again?
That's called a T-axe.
T-axe.
Or finishing axe.
Finishing axe. Perfect.
And then this one here is a traditional. It's a Swedish broadaxe, and that one has got a double bevel, so it's got a bevel that side and a bevel that side, and it's dead straight. But we've also got crank versions of this, which have got a bevel one side and they're dead flat the other side, and they have an offset handle. And these are, because these weigh more, we can take more meat off with these.
Oh yes.
So we'll use this for any roughing out. So Matt there is just using a crank version of this axe.
Yep.
He's just taking that down to there's a pencil line on here that he's taking it down to.
Gotcha. Perfect. So that's a finishing axe, there's a thin axe.
Yeah, and then this is a spoon auger. So this is an Anglo Saxon drill bit basically, and it's called a spoon auger because it looks a bit like a spoon. But that's what we use for drilling the holes for the tree house, which is what hold the frames for the planking. And that obviously turns around and it has a breast hook here with a strap. So that would then go against your stomach.
Yep.
And that would go on there, and then
I gotcha.
You can put a lot more pressure.
And you would go work it left and right.
Yeah, you can go left or right, and you just keep turning it till you've drilled the hole.
Perfect. That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And obviously everyone knows that's a draw knife, but everyone really knows
Oh,
what a
yeah.
draw knife.
That's for doing the straights and
Yeah,
sorting
just
things out.
for taking the tops of the planks down, basically.
Oh yes, taking on, getting rid of all the shreds, tidying up.
Yeah, tidying up and things like that, really. So
That's awesome. Thank you, Laurie.
no problem. Involved in the project, so I'm sort of helping with the day-to-day running of helping build the ship, basically.
Oh yes.
And at the moment we're really struggling for trees, so if anyone's got any big trees out there, we need 4-foot diameter by sort of 5 or 6 metres long oak trees, and it has to be green, it can't be a dead tree, it has to be a living tree, really.
Gotcha.
But really clean with no branches or nuts coming out of the main trunk.
So if anyone basically has a spare oak tree trunks lying around, you'll happily accept them?
Yeah, not necessarily lying around because they need to be green.
Of course, freshly cut.
Freshly cut, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Excellent.